Hello students, yesterday we started the fourth poem from the first flight book. Today we will discuss the poetic devices used in this poem. I'll discuss with you the poetic devices used in stanza 1, and on the basis of your understanding you will write the poetic devices used in stanza 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so let's start with today's topic, right? So students, when you do the questions from the poem, it comes for 4 marks. The first question that is asked from you is the name of the poem. So understand it very carefully. You should be able to recognize the stanzas so that you can name the poem. So the name of the poem is How to Tell Wild Animals, right? And the second question that is asked from the poem is the name of the poet. So the poetess of this poem is Caroline Wells, right? So now we'll discuss the poetic devices used in stanza 1. Fine. So let's read this stanza and discuss the poetic devices. If ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if he roars at you as you are dying, you'll know it is the Asian lion, right? So we'll discuss the poetic devices. First of all, we will discuss the rhyming scheme used in this stanza, right? So students, let's see. So the last word in the first line is chance, and it is rhyming with advance. So we'll write here A. In the second line, the last word is east, and it is rhyming with the word beast. So we will write B and B here. Now coming towards the next line, the last word is dine. Students, this is the word. Actually, this is dying. The G has been, you can say, skipped, or it is not written by the poet willingly, because the poets, they have a right that when they write a poems, for the sake of the rhyme, they can miss a letter, right? So that is called the poetic license, right? And next, it is dine. Dine is rhyming with line. So we will write C here. So what is the rhyming scheme here? We can see this is A, B, C, C. Right? So similarly, you will find out the rhyming scheme of the other stanzas. So next, if we see the next poetic device used in this stanza, here you can notice that at the end of the first line, there is no sign, or you can say no apostrophe, no full stop, no comma, right? And similarly, at the end of the third line also there is no apostrophe, no comma, nothing. So when two lines continue without the use of any, you can say, question mark, comma, full stop, etc., the poetic device that is used here, it is enjambment, right? That means here there is no punctuation. No punctuation mark has been used after the first and the third line. So we will say there the use of the enjambment has been done in line 1 and 3. Right? So the next poetic device that we are going to discuss is inversion. Now what is inversion? Inversion is like when we write in English the sentences, when we write we use SVO structure. right? SVO means subject, verb, object. This is the structure basically that we follow to write the sentences. Fine. But here in the third line you can see, and if there should to you advance, the verb should have come before the object, right? So the use of inversion has been used in the third line. Fine. Now comes to the next poetic device, that is assonance. Students, I told you about the use of assonance, consonance and alliteration. I hope it is clear to you. Assonance refers to the vowel sound. That means when a vowel sound occurs either at the beginning or the middle or somewhere else continuously, one you can say vowel sound prominence in one line, right? So in first line you can see O here after first letter, and here after two letters O has been used, here at the end O has been used. So this is assonance in line 1. Fine. So next, after assonance, the next poetic device is allusion. This is new to you because the other poetic devices we discussed in class 9 as well, but allusion is the first, you can say, poetic device that we are going to do in class 9. Students, allusion is a poetic device that is used when a particular you can say species of an animal or any creature is described. So here if you see the Asian line, this is the particular, you can say, type of line. The particular types or the species are described, then the allusion poetic device is used. So in the last line of this stanza, allusion has been used, right? Students, I told you about the use of assonance. The repeated sound, the repeated vowel sound is called assonance. Similarly, when a consonant sound is repeated, that is called the consonance. And what is the difference between the consonants and alliteration then? Because the when the consonant sound is repeated in a sentence, that is called alliteration. What is the difference? Students, the difference lies in the location of the letter. If a consonant lies at the beginning or somewhere at the middle or somewhere at the end of a word in a sentence, so that will be called the consonants. That means the position of the consonant is varying here. Position is different in all the words, but in alliteration the consonant sound will come at the front, or that means the first sound in any word. For example, I am here taking the example here from this poem. When roaming round, R sound has been repeated here, but this is at the beginning of both the words, right? So we will say this is alliteration, right? Next, I'll take the example here. Sixth line, let us discuss here. You'll know it is the Asian line. See, L is used here at the beginning, but here at the end of the first word, right? So here L sound has been repeated, but it is not at the beginning of the words. It is changing its position, but the letter is repeated. So this will be called the consonance, right? Similarly, if you see the third line, and if there should to you advance. Now find out Which letter is being repeated here? Yes. Yes, students, look at the third line now. And if there should you advance. Here D sound has been repeated. D here it has been used at the end of a word. In should it is again used at the end of a word, but in advance it has been used at the second place. Now the letter is changing its position, but it is being repeated, and this letter is a consonant. So this is the consonants, not the alliteration. Alliteration will be when the letter will be repeated at the beginning of a word. For example, roaming round. R is repeated at the beginning of roaming and round. Fine. I hope it is clear to you. Now, on the basis of your understanding of the poetic devices, write down the poetic devices used in the rest of the stanzas. Thank you. Have a nice day.